Assalamu alaikum. Join us for the new series here at Sunnahfollowers on the book called Termites by Sheikh Muhammad S. Adli, hosted and broken down by lailanasheeba. Please join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, right here on Sunnahfollowers. Another Sunnahfollowers exclusive, Not One of Us, written by Sheikh Muhammad S. Adli, broken down and brought to you by host lailanasheeba. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Colin.
And by the way, what are you getting a pierce today? Let's talk about it. Any other questions?
This is gonna be good.
Welcome to Ask Sister Layla Live.
She was a slave, born from Egypt and given to the Prophet peace and blessings be upon him along with her sister by the governor of Alexandria. She would later give birth to the Prophet's son who he named Ibrahim. Her name is Maria al-Qibtiyya. Join host lailanasheeba on the hit series Heroines of Islam every Monday and Wednesday 9 p.m. Eastern right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Oh, okay. We're here. Can you guys hear me? Oh, wait a minute. Let me get set up here.
Yes, we hear you, Layla.
I apologize. I just woke up, and I didn't really sleep well, so bear with me, guys. I might do some yawning. I'm trying to drink my coffee and wake it up. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. My allergies are bad too, man. What it is with my allergies. Okay. Remind me after when the people join, because I had a question. But most of the people are not here yet. If you remind me at the end of the class to answer this question about, I'm going to answer your question too, because I got a call from Sheikh Morsi. But remind me to answer the question about Rayhana, because I got a bunch of emails asking me about this slave girl. People want to know, did the Prophet marry this slave named Rayhana? And so I need to talk about that. I meant to talk about it yesterday, but I got so caught up in that story of Maria that I forgot it. So I'm going to address it. Remind me to address that for them after the class. And for that question you asked me, let me tell you, I'm going to read what Sheikh Morsi typed me back, okay?
Okay.
By the way, guys, this is a good question. I got a lot of people out there who may be nurses, and a lot of you may have the question, maybe, oh God, I can't stop yawning. It's just weird.
Is this recorded, Layla?
You don't want it to be recorded?
No, go ahead and record. This will be a good short for you.
That's what I'm saying, because this is a good question. That's what Sheikh Morsi was saying. That's why I'm gonna read it. His answer. Let me go to it. I'm gonna read it just like he wrote it, because he said comes up. This is good comes up. Okay, wait a minute. Give me a second, guys. I can't stop yawning.
No problem, Layla. Take your time.
Oh my goodness. Okay, a lot of you work in the healthcare field, and it's a question that I wondered about too. A lot of people here may be nurses, or perhaps you are a medical assistant, or you are an office manager, and say, for example, they offer you a job working for a place like Planned Parenthood. You guys know what Planned Parenthood is, whereas you work in an office where people do abortions. Okay, this is an excellent question. You work in an office, you're a nurse, or you're a healthcare provider, you're a medical assistant, or even a secretary or office manager. Can you work in a place that does abortions, like a place like a company like Planned Parenthood? Well, this was a great question. And, my answer would have been, if there is an alternative, look for something else. But I knew that this is a question that should go to the true scholars to answer. And so I sent it to Sheikh Morsi. And this is the answer that Sheikh Morsi sent me back. And I want all you young girls to pay attention. He said, if this place does nothing but abortions, then you should not work there. If all they do is just abortions and nothing else, do not work there. He said, but if they do other things other than abortion too, then you can work, because we have to understand that not every type of abortion is haram. And see, this is why we need the scholars, because I didn't think of that. Sometimes people have to have an abortion because it can be a dangerous pregnancy, a tubal pregnancy, or a pregnancy that can endanger the life of a woman. So like the Prophet, Sheikh Morsi said, not every type of abortion is haram. Some women have to have abortions because they find out that her life is in danger. But so if it's a place like an abortion clinic where all they do is nothing but abortions, then no. We can't work in that field as a nurse or a medical assistant, but if they say it's Planned Parenthood, I think that the Planned Parenthood place down the street from me, they have doctors, gynecologists, they do other stuff too, right? Don't they? Those type of places.
Yeah, they do. They do health management for women, or any illnesses they may have for women illnesses and things like that.
Yeah, so at a place like that, yes, you can work in it. Does every woman understand that? Because what made me think about it is, I remember when I moved back here to Cleveland, I had to find a new healthcare provider because, I was no longer living in Southern Ohio. I had to find new doctors. And one of the doctors that was recommended, she was one of the best. And she works for a place like Planned Parenthood across from me. And I didn't get her as a doctor because I'm like, no, they do abortions there. And so I chose another doctor. But I thought about it. I said I could have had her as a doctor because she was a gynecologist and she was a personal physician. She could have been my personal physician. And they said she's really one of the best, but I didn't pick her because she works in that place where they do a Planned Parenthood. But now that after talking to Sheikh Morsi, his answer, I could have had her as a doctor, you know, because they do other stuff there too. But so that's something good to know. So if you're a medical assistant or something like that, or a nurse or a nursing student like Jayla, my granddaughter is, and they offer you a job like that, yes, as long as it's not a place that does nothing but abortions. Because other things are done in there. Plus, not all abortions are haram. Y'all know that. A woman may have to have an abortion if her life is in danger. It happens a lot. You know, you'd be surprised how many women they have to end the pregnancy. I mean, in fact, one of my friends close to me, she was pregnant, had been trying to get pregnant for so long, and there was a problem and they had to end it, and she's devastated. I mean, she's still messed up behind it. All right, so I just wanted to answer that question because I got a lot of my students here are working in the health field. All right, let's get started with our class. I'm waiting on the new shahadas to log in. Hold on, let me type this. Trovo, Twitch. What's the other one I'm with now? And by the way, guys, I am now streaming on Mixcloud. I don't know how many of you use Oh, did y'all see it? Oh, there it is. Now they pop up. How many of y'all use Mixcloud? Mixcloud.com. If you go there, am I streaming? And let me see. Is anybody on Mixcloud now? Okay. I got to set it up where y'all can see the typing too. But yes, I see myself on there. I'm streaming live on Mixcloud. By the way, this is what Mixcloud looks like. Let me show you. If you want to see what it looks like, see, look, can you see it? You see it? Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's Mixcloud.
So okay, yeah, that's all right.
I'm streaming there. This is the type. And I guess I got to set it up where y'all would type over here on this side. The audience. Well, I did see somebody type yesterday. I don't know. But I got to set it up. But anyway, oh, it's 3 people. But this is, and they don't have a limit for me either. I'm trying to see if I can see my typing on here, but that's Mixcloud. So I just added Mixcloud to our streaming lineup. Could I see my typing on there? No, I don't see my. So I got to set it up where I can see the typing, but I can see you on Twitch, DLive, Trovo, LinkedIn. I can see you guys, but I just have to, after class, set this one up so I can see it. So we're streaming live on so many platforms now. We're streaming simultaneously on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, Odyssey, LinkedIn, Telegram. Subscribe to the channel on those platforms. Whatever platform you're on. Also, we're on Mixcloud. I got to add that. Just subscribe to the channel. Okay, and you can look for us as Sunnahfollowers. Whatever the platform you're using, Twitter or Rumble or Odyssey or Instagram or Telegram or YouTube, Facebook, just look for Sunnahfollowers. Sunnahfollowers, one word, and that's how we'll pop up. Okay. All right, so we're live on there. Let me set this up now. All right. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. The new shahadas, you see me now? All right. Type. You're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, I can see you. Yes, just type. No, if you want to use the microphone, you have to join my Zoom room. You can't use the mic unless you join my Zoom room, okay? And you got the link for the Zoom. Okay. Hadith class. I'm putting this in here for you now. Okay. I'm going to put the ticker up. Yeah, 9 o'clock. There you go. Can you see it now? Hold on. There. So By the way, guys, please support us. We are desperately in need of your donations to cover the website expenses. Y'all know I couldn't stream Monday because we didn't pay the bill. We didn't have the streaming bill paid, but it's paid now thanks to donations from a couple of people. But we still need $1,000 more for this month. Okay, you can scan that QR code. We are now streaming on mixcloud.com. There's the channel name, Sunnahfollowers. And tonight at 9 p.m., y'all see I put that there. Hadith class is tonight at 9 p.m. All right, so let's get started. Everybody set up, right? Okay. Inna alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. Welcome to our 6 o'clock class, which is the first class for today. This is our Aqidah class, which is the most important class that we teach here. And we are studying from the book entitled Diluting Wal Bara. And that's the name of the book. It's right there on the screen. Inshallah, you guys should be able to see it. There it is. There. Now you definitely can see it. Diluting Wal Bara. This book is written by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. And you can pick up a copy at Amazon.com. The price is $19.99. $19.99. This trilogy, it's a three-book series. We studied the first book, Get to Know Your Lord. That speaks about the first part, the meaning of the first part of the Shahada. And then this is the second of the trilogy, which is Diluting Wal Bara, which addresses our allegiance as Muslims. And yes, we will cover the third of the series too. Yes. Okay, because sister here is asking, am I going to teach the third one too? Yes, inshallah. So for this book, we are now embarking upon chapter 16. I think it is, right, Fame? We're in 16, Fame?
Yes, 6.
Okay. We're in chapter 16. Chapter 16 of this book, it has proven to be a very, very informative chapter because it shows how wal bara, or allegiance and disassociation, how it connects to the testimony of faith, that shahada, the la ilaha illallah. Okay. And I want everybody to take their books out now because I'm getting ready to put the PowerPoint up on the screen. There will be a quiz after today's lecture, so I want y'all to pay attention, take notes. There will be a quiz at the end of this lecture. Okay? And today we're still in chapter 16. We will be discussing, we're picking up at the section that addresses how La Ilaha encompasses the rejection of Shaitan and anyone or anything that claims divinity other than Allah. Does everybody understand that? Okay. When we do that, when we pledge that testimony of faith, when you make salat, when you recite the tashahud, sorry, my lips are chapped, and you declare la ilaha illallah, when you declare la ilaha, you are rejecting Shaitan, and you are also rejecting those who claim divinity other than Allah. And this is a part of Wal Bara, the distancing. Let's talk about it. Now, as we've been speaking about for the past 2 weeks, the Shahada is the fundamental declaration of faith in Islam. It's what brings us into the folds of Islam, and it consists of 2 parts: negation, which is la ilaha, and affirmation, which is illallah. The negation emphasizes rejecting any deity that claims to be worthy of worship except Allah. It also signifies disassociation, disloyalty, against disloyalty to anyone or anything that claims to be worthy of worship other than Allah. It also signifies rejecting that we should obey anything other than Allah. Okay, so, this is the Shahada. And like I tell you guys, it should have been explained to many of you when you took Shahada. Okay, so you hear the Arabic word taghut. Rejecting taghut is a crucial aspect of this. And what does taghut mean? Taghut in Islam refers to entities or individuals that command that you worship them, that command that you obey them in a way that is reserved only for Allah. And this is important. All the new shahadas, I want y'all to ponder that. Any individual or any entity that commands you to worship it or obey it in a manner that is reserved only for Allah, we reject it. We reject it. And this is what I spoke about yesterday. A lot of you that will come to us this time of the year because 'tis the season, asking about celebrating holidays like Christmas, New Year's Day. Many of you will come and ask about celebrating birthdays. Why is it that we don't celebrate birthdays? This is why. Any individual or any entity that commands that you worship them or obey them in a manner that is reserved only for Allah, we reject it. Y'all understand that? What is a birthday? It's a celebration. What are you celebrating? You're celebrating the birth of yourself. Just because this is the day that I was born, you're supposed to bring me presents. You're supposed to bake food for me. You're supposed to cater to me because this is the day I was born. Now you tell me, isn't that an act of worship? Now do y'all see why we don't celebrate birthdays, why you're not supposed to? And a lot of Muslims celebrate birthdays. This is an act of worship. You're worshiping your children. You're worshiping yourself because I am born this day. You have to obey me and bring me presents. Make cakes for me. This is putting yourself on a level equal to Allah. First of all, you had nothing to do with your birth. Just because you're born ain't no different than anything else being created. Okay? Who said because you were born this day, you're deserving of anything? You see that? Y'all see why birthdays is an act of worship. It's haram. It's haram. It's haram. You guys have to stop it. For my new shahadas, we don't celebrate birthdays, not for your children. You're putting your children on a level equal to Allah. You're saying that because this is the day that your child was born, the world has to stop and bring it presents, gifts, cook for it. He's a god. She's a goddess. Y'all see that? Act of worship. Y'all better stop it. I was born and raised Muslim and they never celebrate a birthday. Never had a birthday party. Never, don't know nothing about that stuff. And I'm normal. You ain't hurting your children by not celebrating their birthdays. Subhanallah. Stop it. This is shirk. Okay? So, La ilaha. We negate anyone or anything that commands that you worship it or obey it in a manner that is only reserved for Allah. And not only is our birthdays an example, but this also includes oppressive rulers and other forms of misguidance that lead us away from Allah. Y'all understand that? That's taghut. That's taghut. We reject any deity, any ruler, and any other form of misguidance that will take us away from Allah and what He commands. That's la ilaha. Okay, that's Wal Bara. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. Whoever disbelieves in taghut and believes in Allah, then he has grasped the most trustworthy handhold that will never break. Subhanallah. This is a powerful verse of the Quran. It's emphasizing the rejection of anything or anyone that commands you to worship it or obey it as you would Allah. This verse emphasizes the rejection of that, and to only obey and worship and believe in Allah. And you do this by disbelieving in anything that goes beyond the limits, anything that goes beyond the commands in obedience and worship. Does everybody understand that? That's why birthdays is haram. Okay? That's why I don't blindly follow anyone. Let me talk about that for a minute. This is a question that one of the youth asked me. What does it mean, Sister Layla, to blindly follow someone? To blindly follow someone means you only accept what that person says. Your sheikh, my teacher, let's use myself. My teacher is Sheikh Morsi. He is my teacher, and I love him, but I don't blindly follow him. What does that mean? That means if Sheikh Morsi told me something that contradicts what Allah says, that contradicts what the Prophet said, I don't accept it. That doesn't make me hate him. That doesn't make me disown him. It's just I don't agree with him on that. He's still my teacher. He's still my sheikh. But I disagree with him on that. The only person that we accept everything from is the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he was a prophet of Allah. That's it. Y'all just understand that? For example, the question that was asked that Sheikh Morsi answered today, okay, about working in a medical office where some of the people do abortions. Now, if Sheikh Morsi had gave me an answer saying, it's okay, you know, it's okay, Sister Layla, we can work in an abortion clinic that does nothing but abortions. It's okay, it's just a job. We're not supposed to be a part of that which is haram, okay? If he can't give me an answer based on clear evidence from the Quran or clear evidence from the authentic hadith, I'm not accepting it. Okay? But he gave answer today based on clear evidence. He said, Layla, don't you know, not all abortions are haram. Some abortions are needed. I didn't think of that. He said some women have a troubled pregnancy. Some women have to abort the baby because her life is in danger. If she goes through with the pregnancy, it can endanger her life. So not all abortions are haram. Like he said, Allah is the one that gives us knowledge. of technology. For every sickness, there is a cure. What's the cure for a woman who's having a troubled pregnancy that if she completes it, she will die from? Abortion. He said, but if it's a place that does nothing but abortions, then we don't work there. If you're a nurse and it's an abortion clinic and they do nothing but abortions, then you don't take that job. Okay? But if it's an office or where they do female care and personal physicians and checkups, there may be some abortions, but you don't know. Some women may have to have those abortions because you don't know their personal sickness. Then that's okay. So with an answer like that, I can accept. But if he just said, yeah, you can work in an abortion clinic, it don't matter, have a good day. Wait a minute. And this totally contradicts our morality. This totally contradicts our belief system. So to blindly follow means that you accept any and everything that this one person says, even if it contradicts what Allah says. For example, a lot of my young brothers here have a problem with this weed. I don't understand why y'all smoke that stuff. Man, it stinks. But you're going to tell me that some sheikh, some famous sheikh is telling y'all that it's okay to smoke weed? Allah is clear. Allah says in the Quran, all intoxicants are haram. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was clear. Anything that befogs the mind is khamr, and all khamr is haram. But because some John Doe issued a fatwa saying it's okay, you're going to take what he said over what Allah said, over what the Prophet said. That's blind following. We don't follow anyone blindly except the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everybody understand that? So that's what blind following is. People have to bring their evidence, and we're living in a day in which there's so many famous speakers, so many of them. We have to be careful who we take our knowledge from, because a lot of them are just good speakers, but are they basing what they say on clear evidence? That's the question. So that's what blind following is. I hope y'all understand that. So as Muslims, we don't blindly follow anyone. We're supposed to disbelieve and not accept and disassociate from anyone or anything that contradicts what Allah says, that contradicts what his prophet said. And that's the first part of the Shahada. That's the La Ilaha. Okay? This is Al Bara. This is distancing. So, one of the early scholars, Ibn al-Qayyim, he was a student of Ibn Taymiyyah. This scholar listed many forms of taghut. And so what we're going to do, what Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd did in this chapter, is he summarized them into 5 categories. And today we're going to speak about 2 of those categories of taghut. The first one being, everyone knows from the picture, Shaitan. Okay? Shaitan, he opposes Allah's teachings. He opposes the values of Islam. His disobedience and his rebellion against Allah makes him the greatest enemy of Allah, and his followers enemies of Allah. Pharaoh, those ancient Egyptians whose pyramids and tombs Allah left as a reminder, they were followers of Shaitan. He seduced them to go against what the prophets sent to them, to call them to the truth, had to say. Okay? So anyone who follows Shaitan, they will end up in a bad position on the day of judgment. And as Muslims, we have to disassociate from him, disassociate from his whispers and all of that. We talked about how every one of us as Muslims, as human beings, when you reach the age of puberty, we have an angel assigned to your heart at the age of puberty. And there's also a jinn assigned to your heart. The angel inspires you to do what's good. The angel inspires you, to obey Allah. But that jinn, he inspires you to disobey Allah. That jinn is a follower of Iblis. He inspires you to do the things that Allah doesn't like. Sometimes we listen to the angel of the heart, but oftentimes we end up listening to that jinn. Okay? Iblis. Iblis is not a fallen angel. I talked about that before when we did the first of this trilogy. Iblis is what many say, many of the companions, such as Ibn Abbas, say, he's the father of the jinn. Just as Adam, alayhi salam, is the father of mankind, being the first human created. Ibn Abbas says Iblis is the father of the jinn, the first of the jinn created. And he was allowed to live amongst the angels in paradise. But when Allah created Adam and commanded Iblis to prostrate to him, Iblis refused. Okay? And this is what caused him to be cast out of paradise. Does everybody understand that? And this is when Iblis pledged that he will take to the hellfire as many of the descendants of Adam as he can. So he's a clear enemy to humanity who seeks to misguide us, who seeks to lead us away from the path of Allah. He's the one who invites us to do what's bad and dirty. He's the one who invites us to follow our desires and commit sins instead of listening to that angel. And how does he do that? By his awliya, his allies, whatever jinn that Allah has assigned to you. Okay? So his actions make him the embodiment of Tagut because he opposes Allah's teachings and values. His rebellion against Allah demonstrates his rejection of his authority and his false claim of superiority over Allah's creation. This is the arrogance. And this attitude that Iblis has contradicts the principles of belief in Allah. And it prevents us from submitting to him. And that's what the word Muslim means. What is a Muslim? One who submits. We're so busy giving ourselves these other titles. Salafi, Sufi, whatever. We need to work on being Muslims. That's the title Allah gave us. We need to work on submitting, becoming people who submit to Allah. Okay? So, Iblis, he's the number one enemy. He's the one that we all have to beware of. He's the one that encourages us to commit shirk, to associate partners, to celebrate birthdays. All that crap comes from the suggestion of that jinn assigned to your heart. And as Muslims, we're supposed to seek refuge in Allah from him and his influence. And we're supposed to rely on Allah, Allah's guidance and Allah's teachings and the example of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second tagut. As Muslims, we have to disassociate and show no loyalty or allegiance to anyone who claims divinity. People who claim divinity, these are people that assert that they have divine qualities that make them worthy of being worshiped. And this exists, you'll find this in a lot of the Sufis and other sects like that. Some of them, they're sheikhs. You're supposed to call upon their sheikhs, you know, for help and worship them even after death and all of this stuff. Anyone that claims possession of divine qualities that are only reserved for Allah and to Allah, we reject. Does everybody understand that? This includes worshiping idols. This includes any type of association of partners with Allah. Okay? You come upon a person that claims that he or she has knowledge of the future. They can predict what's going to happen tomorrow. They can see what you cannot see. We reject that because these are people claiming attributes that only belong to Allah. This is why, as Muslims, guys, we don't do astrology. This is why, as Muslims, we don't indulge in psychicness. We don't go and get our future read, our tarot cards read, you know, cups read. Because the people who do this are people claiming to have attributes that only belong to Allah. They claim that they have knowledge of the future, when Allah says that knowledge only lies with Him. So we have to reject all of that. But unfortunately, a lot of Muslims indulge in it. When you wake up in the morning and drink your coffee, ask for the newspaper, you turn to the zodiac. You want to see what your horoscope is for today. This is tagut. We can't do that. We can't read to see what my horoscope says is going to happen today. We're not into that zodiac sign thing, that numerology. You know, this negates the fact that only Allah has knowledge of the unseen. Y'all understand that? New shahadas. So no zodiac signs. No horoscope reading. I told you guys, I used to get off into that stuff when I was a kid. I remember when I was 12 years old, I used to be so big in astrology and zodiac signs. You know, I'm a Cancer. My perfect mate is supposed to be a Pisces. I remember telling my mother, I'm getting married. I was 12 years old, talking about I'm going to get married. I'm going to marry a Pisces because a Pisces man is my mate. The only person that can ever understand me and figure me out is a Pisces. Never found a Pisces. I ended up getting married all right when I was young, but it wasn't no Pisces. Allah fixed me. All the marriages I had were men that were nothing like me. And none of those men understood me. None of those men got me. I think it was Allah's way of dealing with me for being a silly kid who was into that astrology crap, you know? So, you know, we don't do that for the new shahadas. No more horoscope reading, no zodiac signs. What's your sign? I'm a Cancer, I'm a Pisces. None of that crap. This stuff, it totally contradicts la ilaha. La ilaha. Okay? So, astrologers, they claim the ability to predict the future and interpret the position and movements of the stars. This contradicts the Islamic belief that only Allah knows the future. So we don't deal in astrology. Also, palm readers, another example. Palm readers, they claim to predict a person's future based on the lines on their palms. This practice is also associating partners with Allah. We reject that too. We don't do that. No reading palms. Also, psychics and mediums. Psychic mediums claim the ability to communicate with the dead and receive messages from them. This practice is also a form of associating partners with Allah. And we don't do that either. We don't go to psychics, none of that. And also tarot card readers. They claim that they can predict the future too based on the cards they draw. This is also taghut. We don't deal in none of that. And that includes numerology, teacup reading, and all of that. Does everybody understand? So this is the first principle that I want everybody to ponder for today. La ilaha, we reject taghut. Okay, and anything that falls in that category. So to see how well you guys understood what I'm talking about, I'm getting ready to give you a quiz. The quiz is not hard. So let's see how many of you can answer these questions. Question number 1. Which of the following emphasizes rejecting any deity deserving of worship except Allah? And in addition, it entails rejecting any object of worship besides Allah. Which of the following emphasizes those two things? Is it la ilaha or is it illallah? Illallah. Which one? Which part of the Shahada rejects that nothing, that rejects anyone or anything that claims to be worthy of worship besides Allah? Which one of those parts of the Shahada is rejects that? Go ahead. And by the way, I can't see any hands. If you're raising hands in the Zoom room, you have to just take the just type your answer.
It's the first one. La rejects anything or any idea that opposes the oneness of Allah.
Okay, do you guys agree with him? And by the way, Brother Murad, I got your donation too. Do you guys agree with him?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Exactly. La ilaha. When you say La ilaha, you are saying that only Allah is worthy of worship. Anyone or anything that comes between that, I reject it. That means birthdays and all of that stuff. Okay, look at number 2. Taghut in Islam refers to which of the following? Is it number 1, entities or individuals that exceed their limits? Number 2, entities or individuals that want to be worshipped as Allah? Is it number 3, leaders that lead others away from Allah, that like Shaitan or Iblis? Or is it all of the above? Or is it everything except the third one? What do you guys think? Taghut refers to entities or individuals that exceed their limits, entities or individuals that want to be worshipped as Allah, leaders that lead others away from Allah, all of the above, or all of the above except the third one. What do you guys think?
All the above.
Okay, you guys agree with her? She said all of the above.
I agree.
Good job, mashallah. Exactly, all of the above. You know, taghut. This is a person that exceeds their limits. You think that you are equal to Allah. You think you're better than others. You're superior over others. Number 2, individuals that want to be praised and worshiped as Allah. That's what that birthday crap is. And 3, leaders like Iblis, leaders like Fir'aun, leaders like Elijah Muhammad that lead others away from Allah. Okay, good job. Let's look at the next question. Shaitan, he calls to that which contradicts which of the following? Tawheed, disobeying Allah, worship of himself, or arrogance. And what I want to do with this question is let's take them all individually. Let's look at the first one. Does Shaitan call to that which contradicts Tawheed? What do you guys think? Does Shaitan call people to that which contradicts Tawheed? What does Tawheed mean? Is Shaitan
oneness of Allah? And yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Good job, Amina. Yes, oneness of Allah. That's what Shaitan does. He calls us to that which contradicts the oneness of Allah. We have to be careful of that. Shaitan's wanted to get you to want to do things that fall in the category of shirk out of curiosity or whatnot. Good job. What about the second one? Shaitan calls to that which contradicts disobeying Allah. Is that true or false? Does Shaitan call to that which contradicts disobeying Allah? What do y'all think?
No.
Yeah. Good job.
No.
Good job. Good job. Good job. It's the opposite. Good job. What about the third one? Shaitan calls to that which contradicts worship of him. Is that true or false? Does Shaitan call to that which contradicts worship of him?
Nope.
Good job, Fresno. What about the last one? Shaitan calls to that which contradicts arrogance. Is that true or false? Good job. All of these things are Shaitan. Shaitan is all about arrogance. He's going to push you to be arrogant, to think that you're not worthy of correction, that you know it all, that you're better than everyone. Shaitan will call you to worship him. Remember, this is why we don't even pray when the sun is rising. We don't pray when the sun is setting, because every day when the sun rises and when the sun sets, Shaitan stands in the front of the sun so that any idiot that worships the sun can bow and prostrate to him. That's how arrogant he is. Okay? So he calls people to worship him. And he's the one that puts the idea in your mind to disobey Allah. He's the one that's seducing you brothers to smoke that marijuana. Okay, good job, Fresno. Good job. What about this, guys? Next question. Which of the following actions can be said to fall in the category of calling to divinity, and why? Let's start with this one, birth. And by the way, I got this PowerPoint messed up. Start with the first one, birth. Having people celebrate your birth. Does this action fall in the category of calling to divinity? And if so, why? Calling to divinity means worship. Does this action fall in the category of having people worship something other than Allah? And if so, why? What do y'all think? Having people celebrate your birth, or what y'all call it now, your born day. Just because we change the words don't make it different. The day my born day. Does this fall in the category of divinity? And if so, why?
Yes, because you're celebrating somebody, so you're like literally setting aside a day for that person and doing something special for them as if like, you know, they're worthy of it.
Exactly. Yes, it does. This is that birthday stuff. So I don't want none of you Muslims listening to me to ever celebrate a birthday again. Y'all can't say y'all didn't know, because I broke it down to you. Birthdays are haram. Period. Dot. Period. Dot. This is an act of worship. You're calling some others to divinity. You're not God, Allah. You're not worthy of worship, and neither are your children. You're no different than anyone else. There is no divinity within you or your kids. Good job. What about this one? Celebrating the day you and your husband got married. Is this calling to divinity, and why? Now, see, I told you I'm going to make it get a little harder. Celebrating the day that you and your husband got married. Does that fall in the category of worship, and why?
No, it doesn't, because it has nothing to do with worship. It's just you two celebrating your reunion.
Okay, do you guys agree with her answer?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, exactly. There's nothing wrong with an anniversary day. This ain't got nothing to do with worshiping anything. This is not an act of worship. This is just me and my husband going out having dinner and thanking Allah for allowing us to still be together. He put up with me and I put up with him. Okay, this is not worship. So that's okay. What about this one? Thanking Allah for blessing you with a child by having an aqiqah. Does that fall in the category of calling to divinity, and why? Latifa?
I would say no, it doesn't fall in that category, because you're thanking Allah. You're not thanking the child.
Exactly.
Or the child.
Exactly. And this is a question that one of the sisters, let me look on YouTube. I keep forgetting I'm on YouTube too. Let me, because I'm looking at the Zoom, my students. One of the sisters here on YouTube asked me this question and sent me an email this morning. I was reading this evening when I woke up at 6 o'clock. This morning, I wake up in the evening. This sister sent me an email. I was reading it. And yeah, look at that. You like that? It's Cover Girl, Chanel. I'm sorry, Cover Girl. This is Chanel. The sister was saying she wanted to see my you can tell we a female website, man. This is Chanel. But anyway, yes. The sister asked me, what's the difference between celebrating a birthday and an aqiqah for your child? A big difference. It's a big difference, as Latifa said. When you give an aqiqah for your child, this is not celebrating the child. You're sacrificing a lamb or a sheep or a goat to Allah. Thanking Allah for blessing you with a child. This is an act of worship that you're doing to Allah. You're not doing it to the child. Okay? Some people could, like, say, for example, I had a brother email me a couple of months ago. He sent me a question. He said, one of the brothers in United Kingdom, he said, Sister Layla, I got a new job. And I was so happy that I sacrificed a sheep. I sacrificed a sheep in the name of Allah and I gave it away in charity. Was that lawful to do? Yes. You were thanking Allah. What a great way to thank Allah. He thanked Allah for blessing him with a new job by sacrificing a sheep and giving it all of it away in charity. Oh my goodness. You know, that's not, that's of worshiping Allah. All actions of worship belong to Allah and no one else. Okay. So yeah, that's fine. So in Akika, you're sacrificing to Allah as a means of thanking him for something. Whereas with a birthday, you're not doing anything to Allah or for Allah. You want the people to come and praise and glorify your child. Your child becomes the action of the worship. Your child is the one that they're sacrificing to. This is shirk. Y'all understand the difference? The new shahadas here? Okay, this sister here, let me, go ahead, type the whole thing. I want to make sure that the new Muslims understand. Okay, good. She said that nobody's broke it down that way. Now she understands exactly. My computer. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. My internet is unstable. Hold on. Frozen on YouTube, Ifty or Fame. I hit a button and it. Uh-oh. I hit a button. Give me a second. Okay, I'm good. I hit a button on my computer and it made me unstable. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, exactly. That's the difference. An akika, you're thanking and sacrificing to Allah. Birthdays, you're sacrificing or thanking your kid. You know, astaghfirullah. What about this, guys? Making charts based on the placements of the stars when a person is born and predicting his or her future. Does that fall in the category of calling to divinity, and why? You make a chart based on where the planets and stars were positioned when a person was born. And based on that, you can predict his or her future. Is that calling to divinity, and why? Go ahead. Am I still connected?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
I was going to say, yes, this is calling to divinity because you're saying based upon the stars and things that you can predict what's happening next, and only Allah knows what's going to happen in the future.
Exactly. Mashallah. Yes. So this is why we don't do those charts. Like I said, Latifah knows. Remember when we was back into that, Latifah? When I was young, Latifah, she's known me all my life.
Don't be putting me in there with you, even though, yeah, we was doing it.
Girl, yeah, we was doing that stuff. We was into that astrology. What was it? Latifah's a Scorpio. My thing was, my mate, I'm a Cancer. That's why me and Latifah been friends for life, you know. But my perfect soulmate supposed to be a Pisces. Latifah, no, I've been looking for a Pisces man all my life. That's why I had disastrous marriages. Every man I married was the opposite. Oh, shirk. She's a Scorp. The Scorp was my best friend. Pisces supposed to be my main. Tifa, we did some crazy stuff. What was wrong with us, Tifa?
Young and dumb and in love.
Young, dumb, and in love. Y'all see what love's got to do with it. Got to do with it. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, Latifah was like 18 and I was 14. When I got married, I was like 14 and she was 18. Ooh, we were young, dumb, and stupid. And I didn't get no Pisces. I had an Aries. Oh, no, a Capricorn, the worst one. Yeah, stupid. All right. What about this, guys? Surveying the elements and guessing if it may or may not rain. Now, this is a question that one of the brothers asked the other day. He sent me an email. I meant to answer it, and I didn't because I was asleep. Like a new weatherman. The weatherman, he looks at the elements and guesses if it may or may not rain this week, next week. does this fall in the category of calling to divinity, and why? What do y'all think about that? What's the difference between that and making a chart based on the stars and predicting the future? What's the difference?
I looked the meteorology. They're basically.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. You and that mic, take it off Bluetooth. Okay, and then give your answer. Go ahead.
My apologies.
Now you sound perfect. There you go. That's don't she got the cutest voice? Got the cutest little voice. By the way, that program we went to, you see they hiring voice people.
Yep.
You make sure you apply because you got the perfect voice. Okay. Just don't use that Bluetooth.
Yes. My apologies, I forgot. Yes, but the weatherman is basically, his whole study is a guess based on patterns of the weather. So he comes up with a conclusion, a hypothesis on that. We all know that it's coming from Allah, inshallah. It's going to rain. It's not based on a prediction. So no, it's not divinity. He's not worshiping anything, saying that very entity he's worshiping for the outcome to be the weather. So no.
Y'all agree with
only that?
Yeah,
I would like to add to what the sister said. Also, Allah gives us such things as like tools and technology. So that's what they're basically using just to make a guess of what the weather is going to look like. But only Allah knows if it's going to rain and stuff. That's why sometimes their predictions are wrong. And so yeah.
Exactly. Both of them are right. Excellent. It's the weatherman is just making a guess, a prediction based on the technology that Allah has given us. That's why you will never hear a weatherman say, I know for a fact it's going to rain tomorrow. He said, no, we can look at the clouds and the temperature and guess that it may or may not. And they'll tell you, Allah knows best. Whereas the psychic person is different. This person says, I can look at the position of the sun, the moon, the stars, and I know what your future is going to be. I can tell you this is going to happen tomorrow. That's going to happen tomorrow. It's a difference. The weatherman is taking a guess. And they'll tell you this is just a guess. Whereas the other people telling you that they can predict. And that's the answer. Do y'all understand the answer? For the brother and sister that asked that question, y'all understand? Good job. Good job. Exactly. As Sakina said, they're using scientific information. Yeah, they're not making a prediction. They're making a guess based on scientific information. Good job. And they always tell you 99%. If you guys notice, the weatherman, they always use percentages. They'll say there's a 10% chance of rain. There's a 5% chance to rain. Looking at the sky, it's black. Since the sky is black and there's thunder, there's a 99.99 chance. Okay? So they're doing it based on what they can see and the technology that Allah has given. They're not professing divinity. The weatherman is not professing any divinity at all. They're just making scientific guesses. So that's a big difference than a prediction. Okay, that's a big difference. So mashallah, that's what La ilaha is all about. La ilaha. Only Allah is worthy of worship. No one and nothing else. Only Allah is worthy of my obedience. No one, nothing else. I don't blindly follow anyone but Allah. Okay? I don't put anyone or anything on the level with Allah. Not my desires, not my children, not my husband, not anything. Only Allah knows the future. And I'm going to disassociate from anyone or anything that comes between that stands in the way of that. Everybody understand? That's La ilaha. Okay, any questions? Any questions about any of this? Is it clear? And by the, yeah, go ahead, sister. I forgot I'm on all these programs. Hold on, let me leave. Okay, mashallah, may Allah bless you too. She said now she sees why Imam Jamil sent her here. Okay, mashallah, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is a new shahada. Her Imam sent her here to learn. Yeah, that's why, I mean, you know, yeah, this is the basics of my dawah, you know. Everything begins with and ends with tawheed, aqidah. I focus on that and hadith. Okay. Yeah, so that's why he sent you here. He knows I'm going to break this stuff down to you. Plus, I'm using a good book. And make sure you guys, the new sisters here, let me put that book back up there. Make sure y'all get the book. Go to Amazon.com and order the book. There it is. Diluting. Wal Bara. Imam Jamil knows Kareem Abu-Zayd because I think Kareem Abu-Zayd was in y'all community. I think he did one of his shows in y'all community last year at Ramadan. He was down there in Atlanta. Yeah. Yeah, there. Yeah, this is the book, Diluting Wal Bara. Yeah, your Imam knows Kareem Abu-Zayd. Yeah, this is his book. Get his book. And that's probably why he sent you here, because he knows I'm teaching from this book. In fact, guys, you know, this is not just for the new Muslims, but all the Muslims. Because, again, I got people who've been Muslim all their lives here, but they never understood the meaning of that Shahada. You know, please share my channel. You know, I know you guys, a lot of you are here on YouTube. Please, everyone, subscribe to my channel and click like, the like button. I found out that the like button is very important, because the more y'all like my lectures, the higher I'll go up in their SEO. So please, guys, click the like. All of you on YouTube, click that you like this class. So that way it'll put us up higher in the SEO, the search engines. Okay? So other Muslims can benefit from learning the basics of this religion. And also, let me remind everybody, tonight at 9 o'clock is our Hadith class, and we will be doing, what's today, Thursday? Oh my God. Guess what, guys? The Q&A is tomorrow. The Call In and Ask Sister Layla show. That's tomorrow, right? Oh my God, this week done went by. I ain't had no decent sleep.
Yeah. All right, but I do have a question, Layla.
Go ahead.
I came in a little late when you was explaining about Taghut. Is that say right?
Yeah, Taghut.
Okay, so that is an individual or that exceeds the limits of wanting to be worshipped and things. That's all that means, an individual.
It could be an individual or an entity, somebody that claims to be like Shaitan, somebody that claims to be worthy of worship. Anything that calls you to put them on the or it. That's why I said it too. You on the level with Allah. Yeah, that's Taghut. I don't use that many Arabic terms, but since he put that in the book, I use that one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I got it.
And I know Dr. Asim's probably listening. I have a problem with that Ghain, and I know it. I don't need to hear from my cousins in Egypt. Hold on. Let's talk about it. My DNA cousins in Egypt, please don't send me no emails about my Ghain. I know I can't do the Ghain right. Taghut. I have a problem with that guy. And that's another reason why I don't do that in Arabic, because my DNA cousins have a fit. They be calling me up on that WhatsApp, blowing up my WhatsApp. Oh, how can you not speak your language? Oh, no. How can you be from such and such family and you don't know how to speak el-Fusha? Don't call me. That's why I do my lectures in English. Anna, Anglais. Je parle anglais. Yeah, but that's that tarut, whatever. Yeah. Any other questions? Oh, I wanted to answer a question. What was the question again, Ifti? Oh, when I did my lecture yesterday, guys, I did the class on the heroines of Islam.
Yes, the about the prophet marrying Rayhana.
Okay, let me talk about that for a minute, guys. The Prophet Muhammad did not marry any of his slaves. And a lot of people ask about Rayhana. Rayhana was also Jewish. After the Battle of Khaybar, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam defeated the Jews, Safiya was brought as a prisoner of war along with another woman. Some people say that other woman who was her cousin, it was her cousin. Some people say that cousin was Rayhana. Then there are other hadiths that say it was not, that Rayhana was another woman taken. Allah knows best. The bottom line is this: he did not marry Rayhana. Rayhana was his slave. He married Safiya. Safiya, because she was the descendant of Moses. That's why I refute that idea that Rayhana was her cousin. No, because that means Rayhana would have been her too. Okay? No. Rayhana was another.
Not again. This will be the third time, won't it? Yeah, remember they did the Willy Wonka with our boy Gene Wilder. Then they did it with Johnny Depp.
No.
Who did that? Who's in here?
Who they got playing at this? They remaking a lot of stuff.
All the mics got turned
on. Who did that? Which one of these hosts? Who it says the host unmuted everybody? Who did that?
Unmute all?
Girl, somebody unmuted everybody. Yeah, who did that? Okay, hold on. Let me just do this. Hold on, guys.
I'm just trying to catch the one mic that was open.
Well, somebody took everybody. I'm getting ready to. Okay, can y'all hear me now? I don't know who did that. Okay. Okay, Ifti, can you use your mic, Ifti? I had to mute everybody to make them stop.
Okay, I'm off.
Yeah, I had to mute the whole room. I don't know who did that.
I'm crazy.
Okay. Probably somebody's kids playing with the mic. Okay, but anyway, I was talking about Rayhana. Okay, hold on. Okay, wait a minute. Boy, I tell you, this Zoom room. Always the Zoom room. Okay, Rayhana. Rayhana was also one of the prisoners of war from that battle, from Khaybar. Okay. And some people say that the prophet took her as his right-hand possession, which he did. And they say he married her. And then they say that he divorced her. Then you got some that say he didn't. I go with the fact that he didn't marry her. Why? Because if he had married her, it would have been mentioned by Aisha, radiallahu anha. Aisha is the one that gives us most of the information about the prophet's wives. Aisha tells us everything, but she makes no mention of Rayhana ever being a wife of the prophet. She even tells us about the woman who the prophet did marry, but divorced and didn't consummate. Okay, so this is why I follow that view. He never married Rayhana, because if he had married her, Aisha radiallahu anha would have told us. She would have mentioned it. Also, the other wives would have mentioned it, because they talked in such depth about all the wives. But she's never mentioned as a wife, but she is mentioned as a slave. So Rayhana was not his wife. He never married her. She was another Jew that was taken as a prisoner of war, and she was his slave, his right-hand possession. Everybody understand that? I'm pretty sure if he had married her, Aisha would have told us. She told us about every other woman. Okay? So that's the answer to that. But yeah, there are some people that refer to her as being his wife, but I don't go with that. You know, Aisha would not have left her out. All right. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions before we close out? Okay, make sure that everybody is back at 9 o'clock, inshallah, because we'll have our hadith class. And tomorrow is the Call In and Ask Sister Layla show. So any questions you guys have about Islam, make sure that you guys write them out, because tomorrow we have the Call In and Ask Sister Layla live at 9 p.m. Make sure y'all are here for that. Here's a little excerpt for that.
Colin.
And by the way, what are you getting a pierce today? Let's talk about it. Any other questions?
This is gonna be good.
Welcome to Ask Sister Layla Live. So that's tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So try to have your questions here. And also in between answering the questions, we'll also speak about other things that are affecting the Ummah today. All right, so I'm going to close out for right now. Inshallah, I'll see everybody back here at 9. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu